Hello and welcome to Crushing Comics. My name is Peter and you're watching my brand new series which is tentatively titled Shelve Stow... Oh gosh darn it. And you're watching my new series Shelve, Store, or Sell, where I go through 140 comic short boxes like this one that are generally not things you've seen me talk about a lot on this channel. They're not oversized hardcovers, they're not Marvel Masterworks and Epics, they're everything else in my collection, and all that other stuff is just a fraction of my collection. So we're gonna go through all of these boxes so that I can get a chance to get to know the rest of my collection again, and we're gonna decide if they're gonna go on the shelves or not. I have about 15 or less of these little squares of shelf space left to cram stuff into, which is like 10% of these boxes, which means I'm gonna have to make some tough decisions. And we're about halfway into this box. This is box 110, I think I said it was 1103 last time, but it's actually 1105. And it's modern indie authors A through E. So last time we pulled out a lot of Mike Carey, which we're gonna put on this shelf, but let's see what's else in this box. So this is called Buzzkill. And it is by Donny Cates. Donny Cates, of course, is like the internet's favorite author right now. This might be the only Donny Cates comic book I have never read, because the next thing in the box, God's Country, one of my top recommendations. My friend Ryan, I went shopping with him in California. We made a stopover in San Francisco to visit some family before we made our way to New Zealand in 2017, and I got to meet him for the first time in person, and we went comic book shopping, and I saw this, and I think he had read it already, and he was like, Peter, if you trust me, just get it. And I was like, okay, I do. So I read it on the plane, and it was just a gut punch, especially at a time that I was really concerned with my family and being apart from parts of my family and forming my family and taking them to a different place. It's spectacular. Donny Cates has now written the movie script for it, and I hope it gets made because it's spectacular. Highly, highly, highly recommended. But at some point, I guess, maybe since I've been here, because I didn't really even know who Donny Cates was at that point. I think this was the first thing I read by him. Then I picked up Buzzkill, probably just to be like, gee, maybe this is good too. But I guess if God's Country's going on the shelf, this will go on the shelf too. I also like Donny Cates's, he did this series for Vault in 2 parts. One of them's called Reactor, I forget what the other one's called, but it's like sci-fi but with vampires. And I love it so dang much, and it's just not finished yet. And then he also did Baby Teeth, but Baby Teeth reads so fast that I just read it digital because it just flies by so quickly. Our next author is Becky Cloonan. Becky Cloonan I really dig because she has a really cool sensibility. I like when she draws her own stuff. I know that's hard and you can't always draw your own stuff, but this book by Chance or Providence, I feel like maybe I did this in a haul on this channel already, but this is her doing her own art. I just love, oh, let's try to make sure we don't put any not for safe for work content on the screen just to pick a random page. I like how plain her figure work is. It's just like really emotive to me because it's simple. It kind of reminds me too of Declan Shelve a little bit, but I really like when she does her own stuff. Chance or Providence is a collection of, I think, 2 or 3 of her smaller works, Wolves, The Mire, and Demeter. And also she does kind of remind me of Mike Mignola, who blurbed this. So I've been really meaning to read that. That's gonna go on the shelf. And then I have her image series here, Southern Cross, which I don't know anything about. I've never read it, and I just bought it because I wanted to get some more Becky Cloonan stuff. So I guess that's gonna go on the shelf too. Oh, we can't be saying yes to everything, okay? There's gotta be some no at some point. But I'll tell you, this next series is not a no. So the next one, now we're into Kelly Sue DeConnick. Well, at least I can tell you that 1 copy of Bitch Planet is going back in the box because I just have an extra copy for lending. And when I tell you this first one is like a bomb blast of, it mixes up 70s exploitation, feminist themes, dystopian themes, and it's just, it's perfectly realized. And I love the first one so much, and I've probably read it 6 times at least. And I have these other 2, but they kind of came out, I think, as we were doing the move or after the move, so I've never gotten to them. And so that, I mean, this is one of my favorites. It's going on the shelf. And then I have some other DeConnick stuff. I guess we're gonna put it all on the shelf. So So I have 2 editions of Ghost, which is from, Dark Horse did this thing called World's Greatest Comics Heroes back in the early mid-90s. It was actually really cool. They did 16 weeks in a row where they picked a neighborhood in the city or a theme in the city, and they had different creators create a hero in that and just have one issue basically to pitch them to us. It was like a pilot season. And so after 16 weeks, there were 16 issues, and then only a few of them became popular enough to stick around. And Ghost was one of probably the 4 or 5 that was the most enduring and the most popular, and Kelly Sue DeConnick is one of the authors who wrote it. I've actually read some of this first one. You know, this is a good question of like, if I'm gonna put some things by an author on a shelf, does that mean I'm gonna put all things of an author on the shelf? And the thing is, the other thing I have here is Pretty Deadly by Kelly Sue DeConnick. And what I've discovered with Pretty Deadly is that I cannot read it in print. I need it digitally, like huge. I have to be able to zoom in on one panel at a time and just think about it. So I think I'm actually gonna sell. Well, we're gonna say store for now, but I don't need them on the shelf. I've already been very slowly reading it digitally, and I just don't see me reading it in print. So if we're not gonna put all of Kelly Sue DeConnick on the shelf, I think I should get to leave Ghost stored, I think. Maybe one day I'll read it, but it's like not my top priority right now, so I don't think it needs shelf space. Look at me making tough decisions, look at me. Okay, this next one is The Dream Merchant by, what's this dude's name? Nathan Edmondson, I think. And I don't really like him, so that's a sell. A couple more. Oh boy. So now we're into Warren Ellis. But I have a lot of Warren Ellis in a lot of different formats. So I think anything I have of him that I haven't read yet has to go on the shelf. So I haven't read Fell. I don't have everything Ellis because I started getting everything Ellis, and then I read some of his Avatar press stuff, which is like really gory and bloody as Avatar press stuff is, and I was like, I'm not really into this. So then I stopped on my mission to buy all Ellis, but I do want to read Fell. I really want to read Ignition City. This is one of the ones I've wanted to read the most, and I've just never made the time. And then I have these 3 paperbacks of Injection, but this is exactly what's in the hardcover, and the hardcover is gorgeous. So, and I have that on my hardcover shelf downstairs, so I don't think I need to, again, it's not everything Ellis, so I don't think I need to put them on my shelf. Injection, again, this box has some of my favorite comics of all time in it. Injection, I've reread this so many times already, which is a lot to say since it only came out, I think the first one came out in like, I don't know, 2014 or 2015. October 2015 for volume 1. So for me to have reread something multiple times since 2015, given the pace of reading that I do typically to keep up with new comics that are coming out digitally, that shows you that I am obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed. It's like the X-Files crossed with MI5 or Spooks or something like that, and it's delightful. It's a great mystery, it's supernatural. Declan Shalvey, who I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, his artwork is beautiful in this. I have a better version, so it doesn't need to go on the shelf. And that's it! We got through a whole box! The end. So, this is not good for our ratios going forward. We have 2 books to sell or give away. I could always give them to the library, right? If nobody wants to buy them. Donate them to the Wellington Library System, which is amazing. And then I have a nice chunk which is going to go back into storage, some of which because I want to lend it to people. Probably that same person I would lend Bitch Planet, I would maybe also lend Injection. Lending is a valid 4th option other than shelve, store, or sell. And then we have this. I don't even know if I can pick it up. I haven't been going to the gym and I have this broken finger. This is all going on the shelf from last episode and this episode from box 1105. I'm in trouble, y'all. There's no more room in this room for shelves. I already have a 5x5 behind me, which was almost impossible to get up my stairs. I had to take the top off and all of the top shelves off, and still we had to like wedge it up the stairs. So this one's only a 4x4. So this is more than 1 shelf worth, which means we are now 2 boxes in, and I only have 14.5 shelves left. I don't know what's gonna happen. Tune in next time as I pick some totally other box from my collection and probably wind up loving everything in it here on my new show. What is it called? Shelve. Some other word that starts with S, store or sell. This has been Crushing Comics. Thank you so much for watching.